Protests continue to rage as Donald Trump has federalized the National Guard. First and foremost, did the National Guard need to come into California?
Of course not. He flamed the fires. This is exactly what he wanted. This is what he intended by illegally acting to federalize the National Guard. We're going to be initiating a lawsuit first thing tomorrow morning, and it did exactly what we told his team it would do. It would inflame the anxiety, would inflame the conditions, and the most important thing he can do if he wants this thing behind us is to rescind his order. He knowingly went in a reckless way, did something that's almost without precedent in our lifetime, unconstitutional, illegal, immoral, because he knew full well what would persist on the ground.
In your last conversation with Donald Trump, which I believe was in the last 24 hours, how did that conversation go? What did you say to him? What did he say to you?
He never brought up the National Guard. Stone cold liar. Said he did. Stone cold liar.
To what extent do you think it was a coincidence that in the aftermath of a week that was just rife with bad news for Trump as it relates to his relationship with Elon, his falling out with Elon, the budget bill obviously being on thin ice, that suddenly he finds a blue state that is just an easy punching bag for him? It's the state of California, and now we have federal troops
100%.
here.
It's all about news cycles. 24/7, it's about weekly news, whatever he can to distract, to continue. I mean, disastrous economic policies, calamitous economic policies potentially. I mean, even his biggest sycophant in the country, Elon Musk, said likelihood of a recession in the second half of the year. Massive debt and deficits. The absurdity of his claim that the economy is doing well. He's wrecking the economy. He's destroyed allies around the world. These great 90 deals in 90 days. Nothing about this president and this presidency is working. The Ukraine war, it's getting worse, not better. I mean, it's the theater of the absurd. And so, of course, he comes in. But this is different because this puts American lives at risk, puts the lives of American citizens at risk, and puts the lives of law enforcement at risk. And he's knowingly flaming these fires. He's lit the match, and he knows exactly what he's doing. He's created this spectacle, and he's got to clean it up. And if he can't clean it up, we'll clean it up.
Do you have a concern that he will ramp up his threats from just federalizing the National Guard to invoking the Insurrection Act?
Yes.
if this isn't dealt with?
Of course. I mean, this is. I mean, what more evidence do we need of the authoritarian tendencies? It's not even tendencies now. Actions of this president is complete lawlessness.
My friend and colleague Rachel Maddow periodically reminds us that we ought to watch what they do, not what they say. In this instance, though, what they're saying is at least worth reporting, telling you about, because Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller is already calling what's happening in Los Angeles a, quote, insurrection. J.D. Vance tweeted about insurrectionists, and Donald Trump himself, after telling a journalist yesterday that what is happening in Los Angeles is not an insurrection, proceeded to post, quote, paid insurrectionists. Then this afternoon, he posted again about insurrectionists. It is just a word, but it is an important one, not just because invoking the Insurrection Act would be an unprecedented escalation, but also because anyone older than 4 years old remembers an actual insurrection and the way Trump spent his first day in office the second time pardoning all the rioters involved in January 6th.
People. These were great people. The crowd was unbelievable. And I mentioned the word love, the love in the air. I've never seen anything like it.